don't read their Quran. If they read their Quran by themselves and understand it and process the information, they may actually come to different conclusions. So, what's religion about? Religion should be about life here, but more importantly, life after death. So, there were many prophets in the Quran, and there were many prophets in the Bible. The similarity between the two is that even in the Quran, there was no other prophet like Jesus. And in the Bible, there was also no other prophet like Jesus. So, this is the fundamental reason for calling Jesus the only way. How is he different from others? Well, in Surah 3, Quran chapter 3, and also verse, chapter 19, it was confirmed that Jesus was born without a father. Jesus had no father. He was born without the normal process of creating a child. I mean, in the Quran. Now, all other prophets were born the natural way. This is distinctive even in the Quran. Of course, in the Bible, we know of the virgin birth. Jesus was born without the normal intercourse between a man and a woman. How does that connect to the life after death? The life, the outcome of your life after you leave this place. How are those two connected? Very simple. Very simple. All men have sinned and come short of the glory of God. What does that mean? The sin that is in you and in me makes it impossible for us to have a good afterlife. Period. Listen. Not only that we have committed sin since we came into this world, we were actually born in sin. A good analogy is this, okay? The DNA that is inside you is a sinful DNA. So you can't get out of that cycle. Personally, I don't eat dogs. I know some people eat dogs, but I don't. So if you are a member of that family, If you are a dog, you will never end up on my dinner table or my dinner plate just because you are a dog. You have the dog DNA in you. I won't eat you. You won't be cooked in my house. Very simple. So because you have the human DNA, you are not qualified to have good afterlife. You are already condemned to a bad afterlife. So you say, what about good works? Can't I be nice and do good things to people? Won't that count? No, it doesn't count. Look, no matter how good a dog tries to be, the dog may help people. You know, dogs help people. May help other dogs. May help cats. That will not qualify that dog to be on my dinner plate. Because I don't eat dogs. It's a dog. So all the good deeds that you do, listen, they are useless. They cannot give you afterlife. They are not good enough because you already have that DNA, that sinful DNA in you. So you will have bad afterlife. Unless there is an intervention. Unless a blood is shed for you. Unless a sacrifice is made for you. And whoever is going to make that sacrifice must not have the problem you have. You can kill goats, you can kill cows, you can kill rat. They cannot be good enough for you because you are not a ram. A ram can intervene for another ram. A ram cannot intervene for human beings. It has to be a person like you that doesn't have that bad DNA. That does not have the Adam that sinned. DNA. Is that possible? There must be a second Adam that did not sin. You know the story of mankind. You know, you can try to come against that with science, and I guess by now you know that science is not conclusive. If science is conclusive, America will not have 5 million infected COVID patients today, and 162,000 people dead from COVID. Science is not conclusive. It's not conclusive. Let's just put it that way. Okay? So you cannot bring science against something that is already conclusive. So long story short, there must be a second Adam. The only way that second Adam could come into this world was by immaculate conception. Being born without a father. Surah chapter 3, Quran chapter 3 and Quran chapter 19 confirm that Jesus was born without a father. And the Bible, of course, confirms that Jesus was born without a father. So here comes the Savior of mankind. Because the only one that can save man is man. But a man without that DNA that is corrupt. So, your religion must help you transition from this person or that person that is already condemned to bad afterlife. You need to transition to someone who can obtain good afterlife. And we will continue from there.
Everyone is looking for something. Very many don't know what it is. They just keep on looking for nothing. Friends, what you need is Jesus' solution.
Be reeling in $1 million bills. bills and chilling in a villa on the hill. For real, they try to grab the status that is the fattest, thinking that if they have this, they'll be the gladdest. Nothing but madness, clad in fashion of the finest designers, but style changes so fast you can't define it, and I find it a trap made to entangle. Thinking that you're being photographed from every angle, caught in this spirit of hardiness. Wanna be the star in this? Forget the godliness. Being a part of this can only start to cause a dark abyss. You want heaven on earth, but that's the mark you miss. The heart of this is that your heart will only harden it. You want instant pleasure that's like a garden that's never cultivated, cause it takes time, but then you turn around and you waste time. The fate I'm waiting for is past the gravesite. Gotta raise my body so fast I can race slide.
Money cannot give you what you want. Power cannot give you what you need. What you need is Jesus' solution. That's the only thing that satisfies. Friends, what you need is Jesus' solution.
Thanks for welcoming us into your living room today. We will continue with our series on why Jesus is the only way. I read quickly from the Quran, chapter 19. I read verse 20. Quran Surah 19 verse 20. Or Quran chapter 19 verse 20. She said, "How can I have a son when no man has touched me, and I was never unchaste?" He said, "Thus said your Lord, it is easy for me, and we will make him a sign for humanity and a mercy from us. It is a matter already decided." So she carried him and secluded herself with him in a remote place. The labor pain came upon her by the trunk of a palm tree. She said, "I wish I had died before this and had been completely forgotten." That is verses 20 to 23 of the Quran about the Immaculate Conception of Jesus Christ. Remember from last week, there are so many prophets in the Quran, and there are so many prophets in the Bible. But even in the Quran, the only prophet that had Immaculate Conception was Jesus Christ. And so, we have it also in the Bible. That's why in that song I said, just read your Quran and you find about Jesus. You may not even need to read the Bible to find Jesus. It's there. I just read it. There are more verses about Jesus in chapter 3 and how he was born, about his life. So, here is the problem. If you are going to try religion at all, try the one that can help you. That's what I'm saying. With the most important question of life. And that is actually life after death. Listen. Once a man is created, once a woman is created, the only thing that can happen to that soul is transition. when you die, you transition to another place. That soul is never destroyed. And I talked about that. The evidence from your own self, from your dreams. And the proof from people who were certified dead by doctors who came back to life before they were buried. That's all the proof you need. So, here is what we are talking about. You have sinned. I have sinned. You cannot say you have not sinned. Okay? So that is foregone conclusion. But even if you did not, you were born into sin. Your DNA has sin in it. Which means you are condemned to bad afterlife. No matter how long you live in this world, your afterlife is going to be much longer than that. So you want to spend your afterlife in a good place. You want to have good afterlife. You don't want the bad one. You know, it's so sad. Some people struggle through this world. They are poor. They don't enjoy this world. And then when they die, they also go to bad afterlife. You know, like Mary was saying in that surah, I think it's better that they were not even born at all. You can have a good life here and have a good afterlife too. Both of them are not mutually exclusive. You can have both. The most important thing is preparing, like the story of the king that I shared last week. The king was sick, was getting ready to die, but he had no preparation for afterlife. So, in order to transition from that bad afterlife that we are all condemned to a good afterlife transition, we need intervention. And the only one qualified to intervene for anyone is someone who does not carry that sin DNA that we all carry. That was the necessity for the Immaculate Conception. That's why Jesus had to be born without a father. And that is why he is the only way. If you can show me another prophet that was born without a father, I might reconsider my view. I mean, seriously. I heard of a lawsuit in the US a few years back. This lady was, involved in 3D movies that you know, 3D movies that were of a sexual nature, and then she got pregnant, and she was suing the owner of the 3D cinema. Listen, there is no other prophet that got born without a father. The lady that was suing knew that she was not having a baby without a father. The father was probably the owner of that cinema theater. So we are looking at why Jesus is the only way. So Jesus came in. That was one of the qualifications, just one. The other is that that person that can intervene must live without sin in this world. Born without sin, live without sin. I have no intention of calling out people because we are not perfect. But Jesus, as a prophet, lived without sin. So he qualified on both grounds. So now we have a lamb, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, who has prevailed according to the book of Revelation, and he has opened the seal. Is able to open the seal. His blood was good enough. So there was this third element that was very important. Religion is not to make you good. The purpose of religion, you can be good. It's okay to be good. There's nothing wrong with being good. But if all you want from religion is being good, it is not wise. Wisdom is looking for a religion that will help you in this world and also help you in the afterlife. Any religion that does not give you an opportunity to transition from that bad afterlife to the good afterlife is not good for you. After watching this program, this is the question you should ask your leaders. This is the question you should ask your religious leaders. How do I transition from a bad afterlife to a good afterlife? If they cannot answer you concisely, you need to find another religion. If they cannot answer you clearly and concisely, you need to find another one. So, what is this all about? Three things that had to happen. The person that can intervene must not have the bad DNA that all of us have. it's like you were born into sin. So even if from the day you were born until the day you die, you did not tell lie to anyone, you did not commit any sin, you were pure from your birth to the day you die, you are still condemned to bad afterlife. Because the seed had a problem. Remember, I say I don't eat dogs. So no matter how good a dog is, it's still not qualified to end up on my dinner plate. It's as simple as that. That dog can be good from the day he was born until the day he dies. He still will not qualify. Why? Because it's a dog. That's it. So what I'm saying here is three things had to be done. One, born without that sin. That's the purpose of Immaculate Conception, which was confirmed in the Quran and in the Bible. Two major religions of this world. Number two, having been born of that Immaculate Conception without sin, without the sin DNA, you have to live a life of no sin. Jesus did. So he qualified on both counts. Now there comes the third count. You have to be willing to make the sacrifice, to shed your blood for others. And God, in his infinite mercies, decided that the blood of one person is enough for everyone. One single sacrifice, enough for everyone. Why? Why will God do that? Because the sin of only one man brought corruption to everyone. One for one. The sin of Adam entered his DNA and was transferred to all of us. So God said, okay, the sin of one man messed up everyone. So the righteousness of one man should be able to clear everyone. Infinite wisdom of God. That's the infinite wisdom of the Almighty God. So that person, the only person, Jesus Christ, that did not have the sin DNA, and if you read your Quran, you will see that God said He will punish those who doesn't believe in Him. God said those who don't believe in Jesus, He will punish. God said He will punish them. They will be punished. Because, look, God made this effort to rescue mankind. So religion is not, people look for religion sometimes for the magical aspect. They're sick, they want to be healed, and they don't care who heals them, because they think as long as they're healed, that's it. That's the only problem. That's all they have to worry about. They were sick, now they are sick no more. Finished. End of story. They think. No, it's bigger than that. A lot bigger than that. If that is where the story ends for you, I pity you. Because that healed person will still die. Listen, Lazarus was brought back from the dead by Jesus. Where's Lazarus today? He's dead. That is why you have to be careful in choosing who heals you. Or sorry, in choosing where you get healed. Yeah, you have to be careful. Because it's not just enough to be healed. In some places you get healed and your condemnation is doubled. Because you are tied up for life, for the rest of your life. So, 3 things. The third one, he must be willing. That only person that is qualified must be willing to lay down his life. And that is why in the Garden of Gethsemane, you see how Jesus struggled. How Jesus struggled with what was laid before